Hey guys, it's Adam from Philosophy on Point, and today I'm just going to talk about buying a new bow. So, what I found personally when I went out and started looking for my first bow is that there's so many things to take into consideration. Now, if you're new to archery, this is hopefully going to be helpful, and if you're not, you might even find something useful in it or be able to share it with someone who will find it helpful if they're just looking to get into archery themselves. So, I just bought my first bow. It was a 2018 Hoyt HyperForce. For a beginner's bow, this is well and truly above what I needed. It's the kind of thing that I may be happy with for years. If I decide I want something else, I'll definitely keep this as a backup bow. When it came to choosing the bow, what I did is first of all considered what brand I was going to buy. Now, I narrowed it down to a few, but there was one thing that made the final decision for me to go with Hoyt. Now, one thing I'd say is important to consider is the brand's reputation. Now, there's lots of archery brands that have high quality products that lots of people will recommend. So do your research. There's quite a few of them, like I said, so there'll be no shortage. But find maybe a few, narrow it down, and then go out and start looking and talking to people. And this one's important to me, seeing what you can find locally. I was able to get Hoyt from a local dealership that's quite close to home. There's only 3 places around Adelaide that sell really good quality archery equipment. So what I did is went to all 3 of them, spoke to the people there, and they were all pretty knowledgeable, pretty friendly, willing to help, but one stood out above the rest, and that was a big part in me deciding what gear I was going to buy. This place predominantly sells Hoyt. Now, they do sell other brands and they were more than willing to get me whatever I wanted, basically. But I really didn't hesitate to go with it because there's so many people out there shooting at a high level, both in competition as well as bow hunters. There's guys like John Dudley, Cameron Haynes, Adam Greentree, and even Joe Rogan's gone ahead and gone with Hoyt since he seems to know all those guys, and I guess they kind of got him on the bandwagon. But anyway, that's not the reason I chose Hoyt, but it certainly doesn't hurt that people that are well respected in the industry are willing to use that equipment. So that's just one thing to take into consideration. Now, I already mentioned the bow shop, and I decided to go through them. Now, that bow shop is Pat's Archery here in Adelaide. The reason I went with them is they were helpful, willing to help in any way they could. They were clearly knowledgeable. They sell one of the brands that I was really interested in and were willing to get others. And importantly, by buying new, I'm able to get the support that I'm looking for the product, both during the time I'm buying and setting it up and then going forward. So, like I've already said, the guys there were really helpful and they went above and beyond. So when it comes to setting my bow up, I'm sure they're going to do a fantastic job, and they've been willing to answer my questions up until now, and I'm sure they're willing to answer more. So really think it's beneficial to buy a new bow from someone that's willing to help you out. And one other benefit to buying a new bow, or a couple actually, is it's got a warranty. Now, if you're experienced, you can look at a bow and you can test it out and you know what things to look out for. But when, like myself, you're new, there's a good chance you're going to miss things. Whether the string is still good. Now, you obviously don't want your string or cable to snap while you're using it. It could be pretty disastrous. So you want to make sure not only is it in good condition for that reason, but if you buy it and then discover that it's not in good, safe working condition, it's going to cost quite a bit of money, and sometimes that cheap bow might not seem so cheap anymore after you put new strings and a cable on it. So it's just something else to take into consideration. Now, in the process of looking for a bow, what I did do is I read a lot of online reviews, and it's the same as everything else. There's going to be the people that are really brand loyal with just about every brand out there, even the cheap and nasty brands. There'll be someone out there that's going to tell you they're fantastic. So you need to read between the lines. You'll see the guys that think every single bow by Hoyt or whoever else it is amazing and that they're the best. And you're going to see that with every single brand. So don't worry too much about those glowing reviews that just seem to ignore all the little downfalls. And on the flip side, there's going to be people out there who say terrible things about a brand no matter what they do. So could be the best quality bow out there on the market, and there's going to be someone that's going to say it's absolute rubbish, to stay away. And it might be because they personally had a problem with one in the past, a different bow of the same brand. And we all know every now and then manufacturers make a product that is not up to their usual standard. There might be a fault in it. I know there's one particular bow company that was known for quite a while as having limbs that exploded. I don't know how over exaggerated that was, but yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Yet they make some great bows, and there's a lot of people saying great things about them, especially the new models. So yeah, just remember, take some things with a grain of salt. But when you find mostly consistently positive feedback on a brand, you can be pretty sure that you're onto a decent thing. You've got a reasonable chance that it's going to be good for you. So now I've got to pick the bow up. I'm just trying to decide which arrow rest I'm going to put on it. I've either got the Trophy Taker Smackdown Pro or the Quad Ultra Rest, the Hoyt version. So yeah, that's the options at the moment. So I'm going to decide in the next few days. If you want to leave any comments down below saying which one you prefer and why, make sure you do that and do it quickly, because I may be influenced into picking one over the other. I'm also going to decide what kind of quiver and stabilizer I'm going to go for. I'm thinking maybe a tight spot quiver with something like a bee stinger or some other kind of stabilizer, and the other option is maybe the quiverizer, which is kind of a quiver and stabilizer combination kind of thing. Pretty funny looking, but apparently they're pretty good. Yeah, and as far as sights go, I've got in my mind that I want a Spot Hog Fast Eddie XL with a double pin. Unsure whether I'll go that way or not at this stage for sure, but that's probably what I'll end up with. So anyway, hopefully you found something in this useful. If you'd like to leave any comments down below, like I said, make sure you do that. You might have some other tips for beginners or just people buying bows in general. Make sure you put them down below, and if you haven't already gone over to our Facebook page, please do give it a like, and there's extra content over there. I actually shared a little photo, a sneak peek of my bow when I went into the shop the other day to make a payment on it and to have a look at it when it arrived. So yeah, get onto the Facebook page, and if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like here as well. Subscribe down below, and we'll catch you guys in the next video really soon.